So often we meet what we are afraid of. Maybe it's a burned out light bulb, maybe a stopped elevator. Nonsense. We think and forget about this insignificant case. It's nothing. But look at this. This is happening more and more often. Of course, a burned out light bulb does not matter, but if after that a soft creak of a loose floorboard is heard in the dark. There are many fears, they are everywhere, in every dark corner, behind every unknown door. Perhaps you will just read this without paying due attention. So, nonsense. But it can happen to anyone. A quiet night has fallen on the streets of London. The lights in the apartment windows were disappearing, as were the people. Kate, preparing to fall asleep, closed the curtains and extinguished the lamp. She walked around the living room, intending to find the door to the bedroom. But she didn't find it. Just a wall. Kate felt it, but there was no sign of a door. She went all over the living room, but it didn't give any results. Then Kate turned on the desk lamp. There really was no door. Kate screamed and ran to the kitchen door, which had not disappeared anywhere. She tried the handle, but the door wouldn't open, and Kate tried to kick it out, but it didn't help. There was a strange feeling, as if there was a wall behind this door. Kate sank into a chair and closed her eyes. She sat there for a few minutes and calmed down a little. She got up and went to the wall a second time. Leaning against it, she thought that it was just a nightmare. She sat down in a corner and tried to sleep. But then there was a dripping sound. As cap. This sound did not come from the room, but from behind the walls. This sound went around the room. This went on for a long time. Kate sat in the corner in shock. Hour after hour. The sound crept into Kate, into her head, turning on the taps of the dark side of her subconscious, which gradually, imperceptibly began to drive her crazy. She grabbed her hair and started rocking back and forth with a crazy smile. Then she heard a soft clink, as if someone was beating a teaspoon on a crystal glass. Kate got up and walked slowly, swaying, to the kitchen door. Reaching for the handle, she pulled. The door opened surprisingly easily. Kate walked into the kitchen. There was nothing there, but the sound did not disappear. It came from the side of the mirror. Kate walked over to him. It was reflected there. The mirrored Kate sat on the table and quietly tapped a spoon on a glass. Then the mirrored Kate came over and sat on the stove. Kate took the mirror off the wall and, smiling, did everything that her double had just done. Then, smiling, she leaned over to the gas switch and turned the handle of the first burner. A fire broke out on it. Then the double continued to turn the handles. Kate did the same. Finally the fire broke out on all the burners. The doppelganger screamed. Then Kate's body was pierced by a terrible pain. She started screaming and her screams were mixed with her wild laughter. The last thing Kate saw in the mirror was her body on fire and her face with crazy eyes. The neighbors came running to the screams. All they saw was the charred body of Kate Geraldine lying on the stove. Suicide, so everyone decided. Like this. Do you understand now? The darkness does not choose. Darkness is everyone's guest. And everyone will eventually face it. Someone will accept her as an old friend in his dying hour, someone as a painful death in his youth. The darkness has many guises and it is always there. She's just waiting for her moment.
I created the channel quite recently. Please write in the comments what I need to change in the video. Please support me by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks.